And we're back. Final round for day one at the Hunter Burton Memorial Open. We have a treat this round. We're going to catch our last two undefeated players fighting for the title of last undefeated as we go into day two.
Yeah, one of the players is a good friend of mine, D'Anthony, that we talked about earlier today, who's playing Creativity. Kid's been putting in a ton of work. We've been seeing it firsthand. You see him on the left there, D'Anthony Davis. He's going to be playing against Jason Cornell, is playing Golgari Yawgmoth. And I expected Yawgmoth to do really well this weekend. I expected there to be some creativity, but it's nice to see both these decks doing awesome, both these players playing really well, and here they are both at 7-0.
Yeah, we had another creativity deck make it to X&1 last round as well. Not a deck I really had high on my radar. Like, it's obviously out there, but it might be a good weekend for it.
I'll tell you this. D'Anthony's put in the time to have this kind of success. I've been watching him this whole week. He's been putting in something like 4 or 5 leagues a day lately, getting ready for this, and he does have the turn 1 lightning bolt for the Delighted Halfling here. So first question answered very well. Oh, this is a 1-lander from Jason Cornell. So if D'Anthony has another way to answer this,
those are nice bolts on D'Anthony's side.
I mentioned this earlier. Oh God, I was like, fan me down. This is those are some nice lightning bolts.
Rob Alexander signed shocks.
Is this an attack from the Delighted Halfling? Oh wow,
we're getting in there. Sometimes it's about sending a message.
It is about, and that's a young wolf too. But this is another turn of no land, no play from. And we have the counter spell for young wolf too. It's a
big deal. Counter the young wolf. It's such an innocuous card, but you do not want it to get on the battlefield.
I remember the first time I saw someone play young wolf in modern, and I just kind of like giggled, and then they killed their opponent with it. I was like, oh, this is what we're doing.
D'Anthony, 5-color creativity. The splash into blue, where the other people we've seen today have been on the Jund version. You said he's been putting in the time. I guess he decided all the colors were worth it.
Yeah, I wasn't part of the discussions, but he has a Discord with a lot of his friends in the area that are all playing a ton. And this is one of the easiest ways to get better at Magic, right? All your friends around you are playing. You're all pushing each other to be much better, and that's how you get good ideas. You get better at the game. This Teferi was very, very good for D'Anthony here. It's going to bring Jason back to the Stone Age. It's going to play the Delighted Halfling back out, and then we're back over to D'Anthony Davis here. Now, if he has a Dwarf in mind, he get creativity this turn. It doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Yeah, being able to cast all your spells, but still have them all be mountains, pretty sweet. The Fable, innocuous card from that we talked about earlier, has been all over the top tables as we've gotten later into the day.
If I remember correctly, David, I think since its inception, it has won every single Paper Pro Tour since it has come into being.
That's incredible.
It's kind of messed up.
It's a remarkable card. It really is. There was a local group in their arguments around playing Esper Animator today, centered around whether they were splashing red for Fable.
That right there should tell you everything you need to know. All right, second land found for Jason here. It's going to follow up with another Young Wolf. So we're going to have another 1-drop here as well. Oh, sorry. That's Young Wolves. Young Wolves.
Sounds like a band.
That does sound like a band. I'd see them play.
I'd listen to the Young Wolves.
I'd check them out. I'd give them a shot.
And then we're instantly going to cord as well.
So you can see why Jason kept this hand, this 1-land hand.
Explosive, but losing the first halfling and then getting set back by the Teferi, he just kind of got tempoed very hard at the beginning. And
Dryad Arbor.
The Dryad Arbor.
Yeah.
Now we're up to 4 mana sources. None of them are black.
That is something that is a very good point there, David.
Just have the Delighted Halfling. We cannot cast a Yawgmoth with the current mana.
Yeah, 1 source of black, though, will unlock that for Jason here along with the Delighted Halfling. It'll be able to tap for any color there. So we got a plus on the Teferi here for D'Anthony Davis. What does he want to do this turn? I hope for his sake he has something at least like forward momentum to do. Are we still? I think we might still be. No, he already resolved Fable. Let's see what he's got this turn. Looks like a Rin in 6. He's going to go ahead and take care of the Dryad Arbor. That's a nice little plus for D'Anthony there. Keep slowing Jason down.
Is Fling the best 1-drop mana accelerator ever? Let's exclude Deathrite Shaman.
Okay, we exclude that one. It's in the discussion. It's in the discussion. I don't think anything ever holds up to Deathrite Shaman.
Deathrite Shaman was the first Planeswalker. We just didn't know it.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Also, like there's some arguments you made about like the OG, just Birds of Paradise and stuff, but
Birds didn't even see play. Like if they want a 5th accelerator here, it's Gilded Goose most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. I have my own opinions about the card Gilded Goose, but I do like Delighted.
Should be birds.
Yeah, I do like the card Delighted Halfling quite a bit. The fact that it can make something counterable and tap for different colors of mana, huge. Yeah.
Ren and 6 very strong in the Golgari matchup.
Helps pick off some of these pesky 1/1s and some of these mana accelerants. Not heavily being a 1/2 is kind of messed up as well. That definitely helps out a lot.
Yeah, when the Ren and 6 came down, my brain said, why didn't he kill the halfling? And then I remembered, you can't.
It's because they got big feet, so they're 1/2.
Yeah, 1/2.
Look, you've heard about 1 toughness. Have you heard about 2nd toughness on the Wanderer?
How about 5th toughness on a wall roots?
That's true. That was just for you. I hope you got that joke. I know you're a big Lord of the Rings fan. I want this for you. And for anyone that's a big Lord of the Rings fan.
I hope you all had second breakfast today.
I didn't even have first breakfast today, man. It's the most important meal of the day. Hobbits know what's up. Looks like a reprieve on the Wall of Roots here. Going to draw a card, get a card deeper for Deanna Davis. Just looking for a copy of Creativity here to really kind of help seal things up.
Is Reprieve the better remand?
Yes, it actually is. It's an improvement on remand.
Better remand.
Yeah, it actually just because it's actually worded differently. It doesn't counter the spell. Yeah,
countering it.
Yeah, so
it's why the Anthony's playing that when he could be playing remand in the same spot.
Because I'm a big fan of remand, by the way. Huge.
I love a good cantrip.
Since day 1, I've been there. The first Pro Tour was legal. I was 4 of them in my deck at that Pro Tour.
D'Anthony a little unlucky in that he has drawn no creativities while digging a decent amount into his deck so far.
Well,
6 lands.
One thing, if there's a creativity, there's a chance that D'Anthony didn't play it this turn because he has an uptick on his Teferi and he could actually just do it at instant speed here.
True enough.
But we'll see.
Hapatra. That's a legend.
Yep.
You get to play with your Blighted Halfling.
There we go. We see a black spell happen finally for Jason. I like the speed at which that Jason's playing and the authority too. You can tell he really knows. I mean, look, he's 8-0 in this. I'm sorry, 7-0 in this tournament. I got a little ahead of myself there, but you can tell he really knows his way around this deck.
Yeah, Yawgmoth is a deck with a lot of steps and a lot of triggers, and you really do need to be able to play at a good pace.
Look, there we go. This is what I'm talking about.
Yep. The uptick on the Teferi.
And this is for 3 as well.
Yeah.
Dwarven Mine got a token here, and so this is going to be. Okay, so I know a bunch of rhinos is called a crash. a group of crows is called a murder. What's a group of archons? I don't know if that's actually a thing. I don't know if I want to actually Google this, but maybe someone in Twitch chat can tell me like what would be a good name for a group of archons.
So interestingly, D'Anthony only has the 3 archons as targets.
Sure,
that's it. That's just the 3.
Yeah. Speaking of those 3, they were good enough.
They were good, but like, if we just Supreme Verdict.
Yep. Well, he doesn't have to worry about that.
Beat you a
Big
Fable?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, they can beat you a Fable. You can bring back Dwarven Mine over and over and over again. And then I was like, in the sideboard for D'Anthony, I was gonna say, what do we have here for? We have Terastodon as other targets.
He has both Elish Norns. So he has Mom, Elish
And Grand Cenobite.
Grand. He has the Turn the Earths that we saw be so effective for another player earlier today. He has Veil of Summer. First time I've seen Veil of Summer today. Veil of Summer used to be everywhere.
I hate that Magic art, honestly. I'm not a big fan of ham-fisted designs on cards, but it serves a purpose. You know, there's a reason why it's not legal in some other formats. But yeah, I mean, that one, when it's good, it's such a blowout for 1 mana that I just. Is that a Fulminator Mage in sideboard too? That's another blast from the past. This is okay.
Yawgmoth side.
This is the Yawg side.
Fulminator Mage and Magus of the Moon as options in the sideboard.
So it's weird, you know, like he wants all of his lands to be mountains, but if they're all only mountains,
it's less good. There's not a lot that I think I would be bringing in on Cornell's side. The Fatal Push and the Legions in probably are ways to disrupt the combo in the moment.
just you need just like a smattering of interaction, just in case you want to get turned forward. You know,
Pick Your Poison might come in just as an Archon answer. It's probably the only flyer in the deck.
It also answers some other stuff in D'Anthony's deck too, so that's pretty great. Pick Your Poison has been. I mean, look, I knew it was good coming into today. I've been really impressed by that card.
Pick Your Poison. Last year's standout card was Haywire Might.
Yeah.
None of us really knew about it coming in, and then all day it was just overperforming. Now it's a well-known part of the format. Today it's been Pick Your Poison.
So going to turn to Prismatic, taking care of that Wall of Roots. D'Anthony showing what he did in game 1 when Jason was a little lighter on actual mana from his lands, but just anything he can do to slow Jason down. Try to keep him to 1, maybe 2 spells a turn. Don't let him just go crazy.
Yeah, interesting. Jason has both of his colors in great effect in his lands this time. There was no real point to go after the Halfling. Better to take away the wall and its double mana ability. And now Jason has access to just 5, maybe 6 mana as we go into turn 4.
Yep, and I think he's only got 1 card left, so if that's not a payoff, We might be in a rough spot for Jason here because this happens sometimes in these decks. You get, I call it the all filler, no thriller.
Yeah,
draws.
that's the games that I have seen Golgari Yawgmoth lose today have all been just no Yawgmoth. I have not watched them lose many games where they drew Yawgmoth.
Which Triome is that? Is this no blue mana for D'Anthony Davis, but he has white, so he has access to reprieve but not change the equation?
I think that's Ralgren Triome.
Yeah, I can't tell from
red.
here. I can't tell if that one's blue
actually,
or not.
it's either Xander's Lounge, which has blue,
So it's blue. Okay.
or It's Jetmir's Garden, which is
So
not blue.
it's Naya. Okay.
Yeah, it's Naya.
So he has non-blue mana. So he has everything but blue.
Correct.
Okay. I think that's a Brotherhood End in his hand as well.
We saw him just do incredible amounts of work with.
Yeah.
It was 7 for 1 or something.
Something like it felt like it. He actually came up to me after the match and he was like, I was like, man, that Brotherhood's in. He's like, I had it the whole time. I was like, oh yeah, we talked about like you're so patient.
Forever.
Yeah, I was like, you were so patient. All right, so it does look like a Reprieve is going to go off on the here as well.
So we got a bolt on one of the halflings. We're going to reduce the number of mana sources that Jason has access to.
Reduce the number of halflings by half.
Exactly.
Right. I thought that's where you were going, and I was about to be like, yes, yes.
Sorry, it's late. I'm not as punny as I should be.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgive you.
We do have our first dwarf for D'Anthony Davis, but he did not decide to immediately go for it. He's looking in the hand with Bolt Reprieve and that Brothers War that we talked about. Reprieve, another card that has just done great work for D'Anthony, and that we saw do great work for the Martyr deck earlier today as well. Need to check in on the Martyr player, make sure he made day 2.
Yeah, hopefully. Looks like well, we had 2 at least.
Yeah.
So Jody Keith was here as well playing the Martyr deck, but looks like another Bolt take care of the Halfling. Looks like we're gonna have an Orcish Bowmasters finally come into play. So this is gonna be a nice little board if D'Anthony wants to with Brothers War take care of here. I think he's waiting until like maybe the turn that he can do that and hold up a Reprieve. At least, I mean, we've seen him be so patient with his card in the past.
Yeah, he's 3 damage is not nothing, but he's not under a lot of pressure right now. He could go get another token if he wants to here with a fetch land. Just decides he'll take his 3 for 1. I would say that the underperforming card, or the card that I expected to see a lot of and haven't seen this weekend, would be Orcish Bowmasters. Yeah,
we talked about this. I think I mentioned this earlier. Somebody was telling me about this. This is like the least ubiquitous the card has been in Modern in a long time. You're seeing it at like some of its lowest rates. Now, don't forget the Young Wolf is going to come back as a 2/2 here, but yeah, like, we're seeing a lot of people start to play around the card, right? They're starting to build better decks against Bowmasters. It's kind of like what happened in Legacy when that card started taking over quite a lot. You saw a lot of people change little things about their decks.
So it took a lot of work, but D'Anthony got Jason back to a point where he couldn't even cast Yawgmoth if he had it. It looks like we're going to get probably another Halfling here to get back up to 4 mana.
I was just going to say the Dryad Arbor.
I thought he tapped 4, so I was confused, but maybe he didn't, then chose he wanted the Dryad Arbor after that.
Yeah, I mean, do it for the max. It doesn't hurt anything. Maybe if you change your mind halfway through.
Yeah.
Long day, just make sure you don't make any mistakes.
It was the end of turn. You weren't going to use the mana for anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is a note for you. Always cast it for more if you don't need the mana, because you can change your mind while you're looking. You can't. You can go down, but you can't go up.
Yeah. Talk about some of our favorite basics. That's actually one of my favorite swamps of all time as well from Jason. So Jason, good choice.
Well done.
I think originally I think it was like Invasion, or was it a core set? I can't remember.
It's not core. I think you are right that it was
Invasion. Yeah, it's been a long time.
I've always been really partial to the Mirage lands.
I like the Mirage lands as well. One of my teammates is a huge Mirage basic land builder. I don't know if you're watching Ross Merriam, but Ross Merriam's a big fan of Mirage lands. Anthony's going to keep making land drops here.
Keep making land drops. Multiple fetch lands. He can go get multiple tokens if he decides that that's the route he wants to go.
Yeah, and Jason would be okay trading with those too. So that's why you see him going ahead and attack here. He's like, look, I mean, I'd rather you not have the Dwarf and Marine token.
Be happy to let those go away.
See, Anthony's thinking about this. He's like, do I want to just take this or not? Because it's a real question. Do I want to get one of these creatures off the board?
Yeah,
and Jason's going to say go again. So Jason doesn't really need to commit too much more. It would be nice to have a quicker clock, but I wonder if he sniffed out the Reprieve in D'Anthony's hand here. It's Onslaught. Thank you, chat. Undefeated, chat. It is Onslaught.
Undefeated. That's an Onslaught win?
I think it was sometime around that time of period, but
right before the border change.
Right before Modern, yeah.
We almost ended up with those in new borders.
Those might actually have been reprinted since. I know I'm pretty sure this land got reprinted at some point, so there might be a Modern facing of it. Someone said they finally rechat. I finally pulled it up just for you, just the last round. I wanted to see the answers on what the group of Archons was, but I pulled it up too late.
Too late to see what that was. Yeah, no, it's hard to both read chat and give feedback. We've had somebody else watching chat for most of the day.
It's hard enough for us to follow everything going on the screen. You had a third one in.
Another Bowmaster's here for Jason will quicken his clock. And D'Anthony all of a sudden is staring down a lot of damage.
Yeah, this is starting to become a real massive portion of his life total. I think you might see the do you have any fetches left? You might see a Dwarven Mine come into
I think
suppress, but
to thin.
Yeah. All right, he does have a bolt in his hand though. So one thing that D'Anthony could do here, and we'll see if he's going to do it. I'm not sure if you're supposed to do this, but you can always bolt, reprieve your own bolt, and then go again. But then that gives Jason, like, he knows the shields are down. But then it guarantees you get to draw the card because you might just be dead if you don't draw something. So, because at this point, like, creativity doesn't even get you out of it. Well, here we go. It looks like Jason's going to go ahead and main phase 1 something. So it looks like this reprieve is going to get some value.
All right, so looks like a cord for 2.
All right,
we're going to bolt the Bowmasters and then reprieve. You definitely want to do the bolt first. don't want to draw that card.
Yep. This draw step's important as well for D'Anthony Davis. Looks like he's going to take the damage. Doesn't look like it was anything. Falls to 3, draws for turn. D'Anthony, do you have something? Looks like Fable, the Mirror Breaker off the top, and I think that was just a land pine. Are there any Dwarven Mines left in his deck? I think there is, because that was a Wooded Foothills. Yeah. So
I think there's at least one left. I think there's actually 2. We've seen 2 so far. There should be 1 to 2 left.
Yeah, so this Wooded Foothills is technically a 1/1. Like his own Dryad Arbor.
Just this guy.
Jason sitting with just 1 card in hand. D'Anthony Davis is hell-bent.
Yeah, if it didn't represent a 1/1 here, then he was supposed to hold on to that land to be able to pitch possibly to the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, but I think getting the 1/1 into block is a little more important in his mind, though I think I see a Court of Calling in Jason's hand. This might make it difficult on D'Anthony of getting out of it this year.
It's an interesting choice. Jason could just go get the Yawgmoth and win a longer game, for sure.
Yeah, I think in his mind he's going to be getting into the Bowmasters here, though.
Yeah, Bowmaster's definitely a way to end the game here. D'Anthony falls to 1. We're going to get a cord for 2, and we are going to be moving on into game 3.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get a game 3 between these two. Couldn't have it any other way. Both of them make it here to the last rounds. They're undefeated. Of course, they're going to go to the maximum amount of games as well.
Play as many games as possible to decide who gets to stand on top of the mountain here at the end.
Okay, so we got some answers here. A group of Archons is called a concession.
Okay, I like that.
I like that one. A group of Archons is called a dead.
A dead?
Is that 2 on the nose?
A little 2 on the nose.
Okay, that's a little 2 on the nose.
Appreciate it, but a little 2 on the nose.
It looks like we're going to go straight into game 3 here to see who's going to be one of our undefeated players making it into the next day here at 8-0.
For me, I think I would just call them the Arches.
Arches. 18. Okay. I think if it wasn't used already for crows, a murder would be really good.
Really good. Really good.
Which, I mean, they're both, flying black objects, so, like, maybe we can just use that? I don't know.
Maybe it's just bros.
Bros? Okay.
Just bros.
Okay.
D'Anthony has to play a Dwarven Mine on turn 1 this game.
Yeah, it's going to make sure that he can turn to this Renin 6 that's in his hand is here as well. So
big deal.
Yeah.
Again, though, the extra toughness on Halfling standing out here.
Yeah, I mean, anytime they make one of these mana elves or some early thing, they put the second toughness on. I was like, why?
Let me kill it with my Renin.
Yeah, why? So I think of DRS, also a 1/2. I remember we were playing with it. We're like, why is this a 1/2? Because it would just come up every now and then. They could just block other 1/1s.
DRS could have been an 0/1 and still would have been.
Oh yeah, it would have been really good. I've won many a game by attacking with Deathrite Shaman, though.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, it's about sending a message sometimes,
I mean, that's why I attack with Hedron Crabs. To always send a message.
I know, we had Travis Brown on the stream earlier, the defending champion. He likes to attack with his Ornithopters a lot. He literally says it's about sending a message.
Yeah, you
gotta let him know what's up.
Also, if you always do it as a meme, the one time it's not a meme and you have a trick.
So you die to like some haste creature or something, you're like, whoops. But yeah.
Bunch of mana coming out here for Jason. The halfling makes a wall. Wall helps him make a second wall, and the wall makes a halfling. So Jason, no third land here, but 6 mana in play.
2-pair dealer. What do I win?
2 pair versus just one weird boy.
Yeah, 1 tree guy, 1 int. I feel like Rin 6 definitely should have been one of the Lord of the Rings reprints. We should have gotten like Treebeard on it or something.
That would have been a good one.
Again, maybe 2 on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah, Rin 6 is 2 people, so it'd have to be like
Sure.
Carrie and Mary.
It would be Mary. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Which one's Rin and which one's 6?
I mean, that's kind of obvious, right?
I don't know.
17, right? Yeah, 17.
6 is the tree.
Is it really? I didn't know actually.
6 and 7 are the trees.
Okay. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, sure. Today I learned.
Get your Vorthos hat on.
I know, right? I can read
Somebody
Jason.
asked me what a spike meant today. I got to educate somebody.
Oh, okay,
on a
cool.
very old Magic
There you go.
article.
Yeah, I mean, like, we had a spiring spike on the thing here, and there's a lot of players who might not realize what spike
came
means. Yeah, what it came from. Are you a Johnny? Are you a spike?
Definitely a bit of a Johnny.
Yeah.
Legendary spell.
I have historically had to sign a document that I wouldn't play meme decks at important events anymore.
Amazing. All right, looks like we're gonna have
Grist is a big deal.
we're gonna have a grist here from Jason, and we're gonna get a Wooded Foothills crack from D'Anthony in response here. Let's see what kind of response he's gonna have for the grist.
Reeve is my guess.
Yep, looks like it. Taking a shock from the Sacred Foundry here, down to 14. Looks like he's gonna slow this down just a little bit. Put that back in your hand, please, sir.
This is return, right?
Say, Jason. I think he can recast this though, right? Yeah, looking there, and there. But shields are gonna be fully down for Jason here, so this grist is gonna resolve.
They don't have to tap the wall to get the mana out of it.
Yeah, I mean they're all the same thing.
Yeah. 6 mana. It's a lot.
He's the white dice.
D'Anthony is at 14. There's not a lot of actual power in play on Jason's side, but there's just so many bodies. And we're gonna
Yeah, go ahead and use
Grist
it.
kill the Rin.
Yeah.
No, I have 3.
All of Root's gonna get traded in for the Rin and 6. Jason.
Take that trade?
Oh yeah. Twice on Sundays. Let's say Jason in a really good spot here, but are we just gonna we're gonna see a double creativity for 1. Make the 1/1 off the Dwarven Mine. Go ahead and get the Archon in play. And do you have another answer?
Might be enough.
But we'll see. Let's say your grist is gone.
It's down.
Yeah, the grist is at 1. You'd have to have another grist or some answers, or you could do some real shenanigans with a Yawgmoth, but we'll have to see. You're gonna lose a creature here.
I assume the pick your poisons came in. Right?
I also assume the pick your poisons game in boost here. I mean, you can see they kind of shrug when he going into this turn, and I was like, yeah, this is just gonna be an Archon right away.
have to do it.
Yeah.
I just want to figure out what I have to sack.
We didn't come here to not Archon on 4.
Yeah. Jason thinking about what he wants to sacrifice here.
Yeah, he's got to discard one of the cards in his hand too. Archon is a high cost. High cost. What do you think about only having 3 targets for creativity in the deck?
Seems just fine game 1. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of matchups in like game 2 or whatever where you need to
Have a second.
Yeah, you need to have a second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for diversity's sake. We've seen some decks that have like surgical extractions or any of those surgical type effects. You don't want to be left in a spot where you just don't have a target. Yeah.
It hurts my heart that they're surgical type effects and not cranial type effects, which was
Sure,
one of them
sure.
just never exists.
That was like one of the first cards to ever reach like a real number of like dollars worth in standard. I remember that was like such a chase rare.
It had it had beautiful art.
Yep.
That format did not. That set did not have a lot of good cards in it.
Controversial opinion. I liked Kamigawa.
I did
Original
very well
Kamigawa.
in Kamigawa.
Sure, that's probably why I liked it too. I did well too.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's around the time we met on the Pro Tour
Sure.
during the Kamigawa.
Sure. That was my first one. Yeah. Good old London in what? 05? I don't even know what year it is now anymore. A million years ago. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. We're all
20 years
dust.
ago.
We're all dust. All right.
Wall of Roots. Jason is not immediately showing an answer, but he may just be slow playing.
All right. Sheholdred, while a very powerful card,
Not
does
enough.
not answer an Archon. And
Not
yeah,
enough.
if I was D'Anthony, I would not be able to untap fast enough here. I'd be really excited that my Archon survived through this turn.
Jason knows he's not dead, and that he's gonna untap with a Yawgmoth. He's just gotta hope to be able to find a young wolf next turn.
I'll go to combat. Okay.
He's only gonna be at 5 life though.
I'll take
Very true. And D'Anthony, I think he has double ley line in his hand here is instant speed answers to anything that any shenanigans that can happen here. So I like where D'Anthony is in this spot. He's got an active Archon, 2 answers to any problematic permanent, and Jason has drawn a lot of his filler here, and his only payoffs have been this Grist and this She-Holder, and it looks like it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, the Grist killing the Wren, I think, was the right call, but it definitely put him in a tough situation for the Archon that came out.
It's so hard to pass that up there. I mean, like, D'Anthony's getting so much value on it. The Ren 6 was getting up to, I think, 6 loyalty the next turn.
Veil of Summer. I don't understand where the Veil came from.
It got surveilled from the top of the deck.
Oh, yeah, it did get surveilled. That makes sense. I was like, because that land could not have tapped for green.
Sure. Long day, long day.
Look, sometimes you look away and then...
Oh, yeah. Sometimes we look at Twitch chat for 10 seconds and we forget whose turn it is. That happens to me all the time.
Jason is being attacked by... Oh, that was a Shieldred.
Yep.
That's 6, but not enough. D'Anthony Davis, 5-color creativity, the only undefeated player left here at the Hunter Burton Memorial Open.
No.
Absolutely. And just what a clinic all day long in all the matches that we've seen him play. Not only has he played well, but you've seen him play with a ton of authority. It looks like he knows exactly what he wants to do in all of the spots. You can tell that the time and the preparation has been put in there, and you can see the result with a great 8-0 run here day 1 at Hunter Burton.
Absolutely. I really like the build that he's on. I think the ley lines are really good. I think the reprieves are really good. I think he hit the mark kind of where the metagame was going to be, and he's in a really good spot. It's been a wonderful day. A lot of fun, a lot of really interesting matches that we got to watch today. Do you have a favorite moment from day 1?
Favorite moment, maybe the Hedron Crab getting stolen from the mill player and he starts milling the opponent. So it's like, wait, am I the bad guy kind of moment? What about you?
The Amulet Titan comeback.
Yeah, that was really good.
Esper, even though it happened to one of my closest friends, was really tough.
Yeah, it does seem like before we're done with the show today, we're going to have a live interview with our 8-0 player, D'Anthony. So I was about to say, I think we're going to be taking, let me make sure here. I think we're going to be taking a very small break so we can set that up, and then we're going to go right into that. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. He's just going to, he's just going to shop in. Come on in here. Okay. Didn't know we were doing this. Sorry about this, chat. Looks like.
Talking to the part that's marked right there.
Okay.
Live TV, ladies and gentlemen. D'Anthony.
What's up?
8-0 here today. How does it feel? It seems like you knew it was going to happen every round here today.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's my first time doing this. I did a lot of preparation for this tournament, and it feels great that your results pay off, you know? Yeah.
So, I mentioned this a few times. You and I are in a Discord channel together because we're kind of local to each other. We see each other a lot at my LGS. And I said I saw you in there every single day, putting in the time, putting in the work. I heard someone making a joke at you. They're like, "How's the 5 leagues a day treating you?"
Yeah.
Was it really that many?
Yeah, so I try to play 5 leagues a day, but I probably end up more. Like I probably played like 6 or 7. I don't really do anything for a living currently, so it's easy for me to stay on Moto all day and grind. And I grinded for specifically this tournament because there's like no modern going on. This is the only modern tournament, so I thought that before the RC goes to standard, I'd just test modern, and seems to be working out.
It seems to be working out very well. Now let's talk a little bit about today. You're playing creativity. I've seen you play decks from the full spectrum. I've seen you play aggro decks. I've seen you play control decks. Now you're here on this. Was this, the plan from the beginning, or did you get here like why creativity?
So I've been playing creativity for about over a year and a half. I started playing at SCG Richmond, and I fell in love with the deck. I mean, I placed really well in SCG Richmond too. I think like 17th. And ever since then, I've been playing it. It fell off a little bit after Lord of the Rings when they printed the ring and the Bowmasters, but I wouldn't even necessarily say that it's like back. It's just my deck, and I like playing it, and I feel confident in playing it. So
Yeah, now coming into today, did you expect the metagame to change at all with the banning that we had last week, or did you kind of expect everything to kind of stay the same, and that's kind of why you just picked Old Faithful?
Yeah, so I thought that it would stay mostly the same. I mean, minus Living In was, basically unplayable, and which was one of my worst matchups. So that was good for me. I kind of expected to play the games that I played today besides the 2 Martyr decks. I did not expect to play against those, but I expected the meta to stay the same, basically the same.
All right, last but not least, how are we feeling going into tomorrow? You're 8-0. Is the confidence all the time high, or are we just taking it one round at a time?
The confidence is good. I feel like I don't have to dodge many decks, and especially that those decks aren't like I probably shouldn't be playing those in my bracket. I'm feeling good about it tomorrow. Yeah, I'm gonna come in guns blazing.
And before we go, do you got any shout outs? Anybody that at home you want to talk about? You know, some of these teammates that were either giving you a hard time or maybe even helped out a little bit in testing?
Yeah, shout out Team Metamorph. It's my team of players. We play all throughout the South. And my testing buddy, Brennan Franks, he plays a big role in how I would say good I am today. And I wouldn't be able to be here without them. And my sponsors, I wouldn't be here without them either. I don't know if they really want me to.
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah. But they know who they are. Y'all know who y'all are. Love y'all.
All right, D'Anthony, great job today. Thanks for the time and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
I think that's gonna be it for us here from the Hunter Burton for here today. Make sure that you stay on this channel tomorrow so we can see if D'Anthony makes a run all the way to top 8 and maybe gets his name on that giant trophy. But thanks for watching, and we'll have some more magic for you tomorrow.